Hello, my friends, and welcome back to my channel. Today, I want to sit and have a little chat with you about weight loss, because that's what this channel is supposed to be about. I know it's about a lot more nowadays, but that's how it all started. And it is almost the new year. What happens in the new year? We all become renewed. We all join back up to Weight Watchers or rejoin a gym or start another diet plan. We all have those resolutions that this is it. This is the year we're going to do it. We're going to lose the weight. We're going to keep it off. Let me tell you, I did it too. Years and years and years I did it. Did it always work? Nope. It didn't. Doesn't work until you're ready for it to work. But I wanted to talk to you today just about my top 10 tips to help you make it stick. They're not all perfect. Do I do them all every day? Nope, because I'm not perfect. But I do try to remind myself, because let me tell you, it does make it easier. So I just want to share my top 10 pieces of advice. If you are new to my channel, I have lost 65 pounds with WW. I started in February of 2019 and February 13th of 2019 to be precise. And I reached my WW goal weight on September 11th of 2019. And I lost 56 pounds. So it was pretty exciting. I became a lifetime member in October, and I have been a lifetime member ever since. I have been maintaining at or under goal for, what's that? 2.5 years, a little over 2 years. I'm not perfect. My weight goes up, my weight goes down. Luckily, I have never had to pay. I have always been at or below goal. It's not easy. I work hard at it. I work very hard at it. And I've learned a few things along the way that I just want to share with you now. If you've been around my channel, you've heard me say them all over and over again, but I thought I would just put them together because sometimes we all need that little reminder, especially in the beginning of the year when we are so gung-ho to get started on things and start something new and start something fresh. So let's chat. My number one tip, and you know what I'm going to say if you've been here. You know what I'm going to say. Whatever you do and whatever you eat to lose the weight, you are going to have to do forever to maintain the loss. So eat what you love and love what you eat. If you decide, okay, that's it. No more pasta for me. I'm only going to have zucchini noodles, or no more rice for me. I'm only going to have cauliflower rice, or, oh, no more pizza, only cauliflower pizza crust, or, I'm only going to use a tortilla as a pizza crust. If you can do that for the rest of your life, good for you. I couldn't. I can't live without pasta and rice and pizza. I fit it in. You just have to learn how to fit it in. Instead of having, a plate of pasta the size of my head, I have a cup and a half if I have the points for it. And it's delicious. Instead of having, a bowl of rice this big, I eat a cup of rice. Instead of eating 3 slices of pizza from my favorite pizzeria, I'll eat 1 piece and a big salad. Or if I plan my day correctly, I might have the points to eat 2 slices. I don't deny myself, because the minute I start denying myself is the minute I'm going to start binging. So think about it. If you're using if you're using fat-free cheese and not enjoying it, because I tried that. It was nasty. I don't like it. I went back to full-fat cheese. I just fit it in. And if you are, I just shaking my head so much, I lost my hair tie. So you need to do what works for you. If you think you can live on, sugar-free, fat-free, cauliflower everything for the rest of your life, then by all means go for it. If you don't start. Eat the way you want to eat forever. You're going to have to make adjustments. You're going to have to eat less. You know, maybe you won't be able to eat it as often, but trust me, it'll be worth it in the long run. Number 2, eat regularly. Don't skip meals just to try to save points or calories. Because 10 to 1, if you do that, you're going to, at your next meal, you're going to end up overeating. Your portions are going to be not right. You're going to have portion distortion. Or you're going to have a snack, say, oh, I'll just have a little bit to hold me over till dinner, and you're going to end up going off the rails. If you're hungry, eat. Eat something. Don't let yourself, I think it's a good idea to let yourself feel hunger so you know what true hunger is, because, you know, so many of us say, oh, I'm starving, oh, I'm hungry, oh, I'm starving, oh, I'm hungry, when we're really not. So I do let myself get hungry once in a while so I remember what it feels like. And then knowing what that feels like, when I go, oh, I'm hungry, I'm like, no, I'm not hungry, I just want to eat. Because face it, eating is good. Food tastes good. So make sure you don't let yourself get to the point where you're going to binge. If you are feeling true hunger, not head hunger, true hunger, if your stomach is growling, have something to eat. Don't try to skip meals just to save your points or just to save your calories. Number 3, eat balanced. Eat from all the food groups. Eat your whole grains. Eat your healthy fats, eat your fruits, your vegetables, your lean meats, your dairy. It all works together. Don't cut out any one particular food group if you are on WW. They all work together. It's science. The most thing that people like to cut out is healthy fats, and that is one of the worst things that you can cut out. You need fat to burn fat. Don't be afraid of a little bit of olive oil or a little bit of butter. Count it and move on. If you are making a big pan of sauteed mushrooms and you're using a tablespoon of butter, yes, that's 6 points, but you're probably not eating that 2 pounds of mushrooms yourself. You're probably sharing it. So it might come down to 1 point. So don't be afraid to get those healthy fats in, especially your olive oil, your avocado oil, things like that. Don't be afraid to drizzle them over your vegetables. Don't be afraid to put them in your salad dressing. Eating that is better than, using something that's just not a nice whole food. So don't be afraid of that. Now, moderation. We're not putting 3 tablespoons of butter on our piece of toast. I use like a 1/4 teaspoon of butter. Nice little bit, just to give that flavor is all you need. And it's amazing how in recipes, I have cut down on the amount of olive oil that the recipe says. Like, it'll say heat 3 tablespoons of olive oil to saute whatever. I use 1 and it's plenty. It's amazing what you can cut down. You just have to try. But do not cut out a food group. Eat them all. Just be mindful. Number 4, eat slowly. The slower you eat, the more satisfied you will be because you are tasting your food. You are smelling your food. You're experiencing your food. And you'll also get full and satisfied quicker. You may find that you don't have to eat the entire plate. Perfect example, we went out to lunch the other day. We went to a diner and I got a club sandwich. It's one of my go-tos at a diner. It's a turkey club. I tell them I don't want 3 slices of bread. I only want 2. You don't need that I don't need that middle slice of bread. I always get turkey. I always get mayonnaise on the side. So it is actually a really good choice. Well, it was me, it was Doug, it was the boys, and we were sitting there and we were chit-chatting and we were having fun, and I was eating and talking and eating and talking. First thing I did was take all the French fries off my plate and put them on like a little appetizer plate that was on the table. I didn't want them on my plate. I didn't want them staring at me. I just pushed them away a little bit. I had planned on eating one or two, but I did not need them. I had this beautiful sandwich. So we're eating, we're talking, we're joking, we're having fun. Before I knew it, I had eaten 2 triangles of my sandwich, and that was good. I was satisfied. Could I have eaten the other 2? I could have, but I would have felt gross. I could have easily stuffed them in, because let me tell you, I can eat volumes if I want. But because we were talking and having a good time, I was eating so slow that I became satisfied. So really pay attention to your food. Pay attention to what you're eating. Pay attention. And you will be amazed at how quickly you become satisfied and full. And you may not have to eat it. I brought it home and I ate the rest for dinner. So win-win. I didn't have to cook. Number 5, ask yourself, are you hungry or is it head hunger? Do you want that food or do you need that food? It's one I struggle with every day. I have a huge platter of cookies sitting about 6 foot away. I want them, but I don't need them. Nope, I don't. I'm not hungry. I just had a big bowl of pineapple. It was sweet, it was delicious. And you know what? I feel better about it. Would the cookie have been good? Sure would have. But you know what? I'll save it for another time. I'll save it for a day when I have a couple extra points left, or a day when I just really need that little bit of sweet craving. A day when maybe the pineapple's not doing it for me. That's when I'll have that cookie. So ask yourself and be honest. We have to be honest with ourselves. Do you want it or do you need it? That brings me to number 6, giving into our cravings. Yep, you heard me. We have to give into our cravings sometime. I know I see it so many times on my Facebook group, and I see a lot of comments about it saying, oh my gosh, I'm dying for a piece of chocolate. What can I eat to replace it? Well, there's a lot of things. But if you truly are craving a piece of chocolate, you can do all the substitutes in the world and they're not going to satisfy you. If it is that Hershey Kiss or that Hershey Miniature or that real chocolate that you want, then a sugar-free pudding probably won't do it. It's not the same consistency. It's not the same taste. I'm trying to think what else. If you want peanut butter, if you just want a tablespoon of peanut butter right off the spoon, more than likely mixing up some powder stuff, it's not going to satisfy you because it's not the same mouthfeel. It's not the same consistency. Sometimes you just have to give in to your cravings. Like I said, I wanted that cookie, but I wanted it. I didn't need it. I had some pineapple. I found out, you know what? I just needed something a little bit sweet. I just needed something to chew. If you want a piece of chocolate and you're trying everything under the sun to not eat that chocolate, you have the sugar-free pudding, you have a sugar-free fudgesicle, you have this, you have that. All of a sudden, you're up to 9 points in stuff you're trying when you could have had that Hershey Miniature for 2 or 3 points. And you would have been done, you would have been satisfied because that is what you truly wanted. So really stop and think about giving into your cravings. And I am not saying to eat your face off. I am not saying to go out and buy a king-size Reese's cup. Nope, I'm not saying it. But sometimes we have to give into our cravings, and they can just be a little bit. Because let me tell you, the first and second bite of something tastes the best. Think about that. Next time you're eating something sweet, let's say you have a plate with 3 cookies on it. That first one, if you go slow and savor it, it tastes so delicious. It does. And then you get to the second one, and it's like, okay, this one's good. By the time you get to the third one, you're not even tasting it. You are not even tasting it. So really stop and think about what you're eating, what your cravings are, and how you can give into them, but still stay on plan. Because it is important to give into them sometimes. Like I said, you can spend all these points trying something else, but if it's that piece of chocolate you truly want, nothing is gonna satisfy it. That brings us to tracking honestly. If you eat it, track it. Yeah, even if it puts you over, even if it puts you negative. Because you know why? If you don't track it and you're not honest about it, it still went in and it's still going to show up, whether you wrote it down or not. So what's the point of lying to ourselves? What's the point of not tracking it? Because I'm going to tell you, in a couple weeks, you're going to go back and look and go, man, look, my tracker's perfect. Why did I gain 2 pounds that week? Well, your tracker looks perfect, but what went in your mouth wasn't. Track it and see it. That way, when you have a good week, you know what you ate. And when you have a not so good week, you know what you ate. So just track honestly. There's not a test. No one's going to come and knock on your door and say, let me see your tracker. I'm not going to do it. Your WW leader's not going to do it. Your WW weigher's not going to do it. It's personal. It's your tracker. So why not be honest? It's hard. It hurts. It hurts. Last week, oh my gosh, I ate my face off. I did. And I put it in my tracker and it was ugly. It was ugly. But you know what? I'm looking going, why did I do that? Like, was it really that good? I don't even remember what it all tasted like. So sometimes seeing it jolts us into reality too. Track honestly. Be honest. Number 8. This is a biggie. I once had a subscriber tell me this, and I will never forget it. When you leave it in the grocery store, you only have to say no once. When you bring it into your home, you have to say no every time you open the refrigerator or cabinet. That hit home to me. And it's funny because she told me that one day when I was walking through Costco looking at like, oh, you know, I love those little granola bites, or, oh, I should buy this cheese, or, oh, I should buy this. No, I don't need any of it. I have cheese at home. The granola bites, you know, they're not great ingredients. They're really not a whole food. And, you know, I try to stick to that. And if they're here, I'm just going to eat them. I don't need them. I can make granola if I want granola. And, you know, at Costco, stuff comes in like a 30-pack. So every time I open that cabinet, I would see those, you know, wonderful cranberry granola bars, and I would eat them. Every time I open that cabinet, I would take a pack. I know me. I know me. It's easier for me to say no in the store one time than to bring it home. Now, I know that doesn't work for everyone. You know, if you have kids or a husband who is not following any type of plan and who doesn't, you know, who wants their snacks or their chips or whatever, if you're going to bring it in, if your kids are older, have them put it in their bedrooms, out of your sight. Spend a little bit more money and buy single serve things. That way, if you do get into it, the damage won't be as bad. I know if I have a single serve bag of chips, I'll eat that bag of chips and be done. If I open a family size bag of chips, my hand's going back in and back in and back in and back in. It is. So, you know, there's little strategies we can use, but the best thing is to not bring it into the house. And, you know, I still brought some junk into the house for my kids. And then I sat down and had a little bit of a discussion with them and said, you know, is this how you really want to eat? Let's think about this. And they decided that, you know what, they wanted to try to be healthier too. So sometimes you just have to sit and chat. But if you can say no to it in the grocery store, you only have to say no once. Number 9. You're all going to hate this one. Well, most of you are going to hate this one. Move your body. Yep. I am not telling you to go out and run a marathon. I am not telling you to go out and ride 100 miles on your bicycle. I'm just telling you to move your body just a little bit. Go for a walk. Doesn't have to be a fast walk. It can be a stroll. Try to get your heart rate up a little bit. And you know what? The first day you do it, walk around the block. Walk to the corner. The second day you do it, walk to the second corner. Walk around the block twice. The third day you do it, a little bit further. Maybe by the second month you're doing it, maybe you can go for a light jog. Maybe you don't want to, and that's okay too. Build on it. Just move your body, especially as women. We need to move our bodies. It is good for our heart. It is good for our joints. It is good for our brain. It is good for everything. Move your body. If for some reason you cannot move your body, if you are disabled, if you have issues and you can't walk or you can't run or you can't do something, if you can move your upper body, do that. Google or go on YouTube and just type in chair exercises. It's amazing the amount of chair exercises and chair yoga and things like that that you can do. Yep, there's lots of stuff out there. Just try to get in a little bit of movement every single day. Intentional movement every day. And last but not least, you're going to stumble. You are. It's a fact of life. You're going to stumble. Get back up. You're going to eat something that you feel is bad. It's not bad. Dieting is not a moral issue. You are not bad. We just made a poor choice in what we decided to eat. Not a moral issue. If you make a poor choice in what you decide to eat, track it, brush it off, and start again. I am not saying to do that 3 times a day at every meal and every day of the week, because you're not going to get anywhere. Sometimes you need to be a little bit hard on yourself and you need a little bit of tough love. But start over. And don't wait. If you, let's say midday, you binge on cookies and you go, oh, the day's ruined now, so I'm going to have some fried chicken for dinner and I'm going to have sausage and biscuits and I'm going to have, oh gosh, like where's all this coming from? I must want Southern food. Now, put those cookies behind you and have the dinner you have planned. Have a beautiful dinner. Have a piece of lean meat. Have some veggies. Have some potatoes. Just pick up where you left off. One bad day doesn't have to turn into, well, one bad meal doesn't have to turn into a bad day. One bad day doesn't have to turn into a bad week. One bad week doesn't have to turn into a bad month, because once that ball gets rolling, it is not going to stop. You need to stop it and nip it in the bud. Yep, and you can. Start right away. Don't wait. Start now. So my friends, there are the 10 tips I have for you to refresh us for the new year, to reboot us, to redo us, to get it going. Because I know a lot of us are looking forward to a new year, new start, new refresh, and we can do this. We can do it together. I am here for you. I am an email away. I am a comment away. Please feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions, any issues, any problems. If you need a swift kick in the behind, if you need some tough love, whatever you need, I am here to help you, because I want to see you succeed the way I have succeeded. So my friends, that is it. Let me know in the comments below how you plan to go about your new year. If you're going to do everything, you're doing great, you're going to keep on with it, or you definitely need a refresh and a restart. So I will talk to you all in my next video. And once again, have a very happy and healthy new year.